My name's Saraii, and I'm from Harlingen, Texas. I was born and raised in the church. So since I was little, God's always been a part of my life, but there was a point in my life where we got really separated from the church for the reason that a lot of things were going on in our lives, and a lot of things were going on in church. And at that specific time in my life, God was such a big part of my heart that when we left church, I had a humongous hole. And I tried to fill it with all kinds of things, and it just wasn't working. It was a Wednesday night, I remember, and I even remember the time. It was 6:53, and I was in her room, and I was playing my guitar, and I was showing her how one song went into another. And I was like, "Hey, Mom, didn't your friend Addie invite us to that church?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "It starts at 7, right?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "It's 6:53. And at this time, we lived really close to the church. I was like, "Let's go." And she was like, "Okay, fine, let's go." So we got dressed, we came to church. And during that time in my life, I was going through really I was depressed. I felt so worthless. And I would honestly look in the mirror and just cry. And so I was like, "Come on, let's go." So we came, and that specific night, I was gonna come into the altar, and I was like, "No, maybe there's youth." So I went into youth, and their testimony or their preaching was about everything that I was going through. And I was like, wow, this is so crazy. They prayed for me, and it was just me and God. I had never felt so alone with God. It felt so good, and to know that He's listening, and all my cries, they weren't for nothing, you know. And I guess you can say I was more reborn than saved, because it just felt so awesome. And ever since then, we've come to this church all the time, and it's gonna be 2 years in November, this coming November. But it's been 1.5 years, and God has done some miraculous things in my life. It's just been an awesome ride.